Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurumedeva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Ganganapate Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sarva Mangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanitrambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samsthita Namaste 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 Namo Namaha Om Gunatitoksharam Brahma Bhagavan Purushottama Jano Janandidam Satyam Uchate Bhava Bandhanat Om Bhagavate Shri Swaminarayan Namah Shri Lakshmi Narayan Namah Shri Krishna Narayan Namah Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Shri Hanumanji Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 20th of November 2024. I want to offer my prostrations to all the sages and the devotees, Bhagavan, ke jo bhakta hai, and to the Supreme One Brahman and Parabrahman existing everywhere at all times. With that bhavana, we are continuing to examine basic concepts as a review in Advaita Vedanta. Today we're going to continue further with regards to the notion of the creation of the world, duality, and in the interactions within the sansar, within the world. The Upanishads offer multiple cosmological accounts to illustrate the emergence of the empirical world from Brahman. So the Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3, it describes the process of creation as the self-projection of Brahman into the universe. This account highlights that the world, while appearing distinct, is non-different from its source. So it's interesting. It's like in the movie theater, you've got that the light that is coming inside the projector, and then it is projecting all of the images on the screen. Those images are nothing but just another, some form of that light only. It's just without the light, you cannot see anything at all. But there's a film, right? What's that film? That is the blueprint of what should be projected. So if you use that analogy, each jivatma has the blueprint of the causal body. The Karana Sharira is the blueprint, and the Brahma Tattva, or we can say Brahma or the Parabrahman, I'm not going to make the distinction right now, that Brahman and the Shakti of the Brahman, that Shakti is used to project for the Jivatma the world outside, the three worlds, waking, dream, deep sleep. Right? So it's a projection. So Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3 describes the process of creation as the self-projection of Brahman into the universe. Now, what Advaita is saying, interestingly, it doesn't say that there's a separate Jivatma from the Brahman. It says that same Brahman, it assumes the form of the Jivatma, and in its own power, it projects the world for itself in that limited Jivatma. This is a very unusual idea. It's very difficult to understand. This is pure Advaita Vedanta. So in Advaita Vedanta, there's no such thing as the multiplicity of souls. Like I feel my soul is different from your soul and from the ant soul and the bird soul and the tree, and it's not aisa nahi hai usme. In Advaita Vedanta, it's not like that at all. There's only the one. So, for example, take that movie theater example. You've got that projector, right? You've got the light source. The electricity and the lights, the energy is only one. But it's being projected through the film. Now, where did the film come from? That film is Maya. That's what Advaita Vedanta will say. That is Maya. Where did Maya come from? No answer to that question. If you ask any guru in Advaita Vedanta, any commentator, any teacher, where did Maya come from? They'd say, don't ask about this. It's a wrong question. Even Vivekananda Swami said, ask something else. Don't ask this. Nobody has an answer. You cannot, because they said the question is wrong. What does that mean that the question is wrong? They say that you're asking the question out of the state of being in avidya. So all that is needed is that you awaken to who you are, the question disappears. It's like the sun that forgets its luminosity, and then it asks, what is darkness? Just imagine for a moment that there's the Surya Devata, he doesn't realize who he is, somehow forgot, is in the form of Jivatma. It's like that the Brahman somehow projects itself. But Advaita Vedanta doesn't say that the Brahman ever degrades into the Jivatma. No, that's not what happens. It's always, it is what it is, self-luminosity, Satchidananda. So then why this all the multiplicity and the Brahmand and Sansar and galaxies and people and places? What is all of this thing? So that is the play of its own reality. It's playing with itself only. This is Advaita Vedanta. Advaita says that the entire creation is only just a dream of the Brahman. It is dreaming the many. It is somehow projecting the many, but it's not the many. There is no many actually. The actual reality, Paramarthika Satyam, is only one. There is no many. Like the 100 suns in the pots of water. There aren't 100 suns. There's only one sun. But it is projected, reflected inside the pots of water. Similarly, Brahman is reflected in Maya. Why Maya is there? We say why. But the question why is coming from our intellect, which is produced out of Maya. So when Sachin asks the question why Maya exists, it's like I'm asking, why does this cup exist? Well, there's an answer that somebody thought of it before, and the factory has fashioned it. There's a whole causal chain, cause-effect relationship. I can trace it back to where this cup came from, right? Isn't it so? That's with the objects of the world. So the question about why does anything exist has a cause-effect relationship, karya karana sambandha. But why does Maya exist? That question cannot be answered within the framework of cause-effect relationship. I hope that makes sense. You cannot answer the question why Maya exists in the intellectual framework of cause-effect relationship. It's not possible. Why Maya exists? Where did Maya come from? What is the origin of Maya? No answer to that question. Yeah, we can say there's descriptions of Maya, this avidya shakti and avaran shakti. These are ways that acharyas have tried to awaken the jivatma out of Maya. It's very similar to asking, why does the darkness at nighttime exist? Does it actually exist? Is there something like darkness? There's something like the sun. Sun ka astitva hai, Surya Narayan, the beams of sun, the photonic energy, that is, there is actual existence. Does darkness have any existence actually? Look at this question. But at nighttime, go outside at 2 a.m. at nighttime. You say, it's dark, it's dark, it's dark. But what is dark? So in one sense, it's the lack of the presence of light. But just because it's dark outside does that mean the light is not there? No, Surya Narayan to hai hi. And when the Surya comes up, because we're away from the Surya, that distance is there, that we're spinning away from it, that's why we have day and night. The concept of day and night is on these planets only, not near the sun. And if you are actually in the sun, prashna hi nahi, koi concept hi nahi of darkness. The concept is not there. When we realize Brahman as the Atma and Brahman are one, Maya ka concept hi nahi hai. Amazing. Amazing. It's absolutely phenomenal. Is it possible to awaken to something of this level? Yes. That is what the Upanishadic rishis, this is the whole point of the Upanishad. This is the whole point of the Brahma Sutras. It is the whole point of the Bhagavad Gita. And all the acharyas that have come, doesn't matter which type of Vedanta, they might say God is with form, this Brahman is there. Everybody agrees, awaken out of Maya. It's not just a matter of agreement, it's realization. All religions of the world, all traditions have talked about awakening out. Jesus said, I am the truth, I am the light, I am the way. What is that light he's talking about? What is that? Is it some tube light that he's talking about? Kis prakar ka light? Is it sunlight he's talking about? No. When Bhagwan Krishna says, Na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatva na nivartante tad dham paramam mama. The moonlight and the sunlight doesn't touch that abode of mine. That abode is Brahman. Amrut dham, uske bahut description. Amrut dham, akshar dham. Dham means the residence. So Shankaracharya ji doesn't use this word Akshardham. He says Akshara Brahma. Bhagwan Swaminarayan ne isko Akshardham kiya hai. Now I think most people heard this word Akshardham. Nobody knows what that means, obviously. Even if you go to the Akshardham temples, nobody kisko koi khyaal hi nahi rehta ki sab kya chal raha hai. It's very confusing to a lot of people. Right? Because it's a very high level Tattvagnan. That's why. It's very confusing. The Akshar means imperishable. Aksharam Paramam Brahma, chapter 8 of the Gita is called Akshara Brahma Yoga. It's the imperishable, the Brahman. This is what Advaita says. Advaita is that, realize the Brahman, that is who you are. All right. So the world of names and forms, even though it exists as a reflection, it has relative existence, it is not mistaken for the actual existence. That's the difference. So the subject-object division that is discussed, for example, the Isha Upanishad, it points out the illusory nature of this division, asserting that all things are enveloped by Brahman. Isha Upanishad, Upanishad verse number 1. So the subject-object division is an illusory division, although it is, how can we say, the perception of an observing self, the perception of an observing self and an external object is central to Vyavarika Satyam. Vyavarika Satyam says, yes, I'm here, Sachin is here, there's some object outside, there's a mountain outside, there's a person outside. This is called Vyavarika Satyam. This is again projected out of Maya. Yes, it has reality. It is Satya. It is not completely not real, but it is enveloped in Brahman. This is another way to think about it. Very interesting. It's like the movie theater. You've got the screen, that massive screen. All the images come and go, but they are all coming and going on the screen itself. Without the screen, you cannot see anything. So the screen, the background screen is Brahman. And the objects are appearing and disappearing, disappearing. Bodies appear and disappear. Plants and trees and ants and bugs and mountains and galaxy clusters and atoms and subatomic particles and everything appears and disappears. Isn't it so? Even science has proven that. It appears and disappears. Just like on the movie screen, it appears and disappears. None of it is Paramarthika Satyam. Our Sapna Avastha appears and disappears every night. Right now, Jagrata Avastha. Jagrata Avastha comes, it will go. It will come, it will go. Sapna Avastha comes, it will go. Come, it will. Jushupti mein jate hai, come, it will go. And the Brahman as the Jivatma. This is, I'm only teaching Advaita, not the other interpretations right now. But maybe some connection we'll make. In Advaita, there is no such thing as the multiplicity of Jivatma. Eka Jivavada. That there's only one Brahman. Advaita means one. It doesn't mean two. There's no two actually. Of any kind. This is Advaita. Amazing. And Shankaracharyaji's entire set of commentaries are on this point. But remember, at the relative level, Vyavarika, and at our relative level, tremendous amount of devotion is needed. Even to realize this oneness with Brahman, bhakti to bahut honi chahiye. Bhakti is necessary always. In fact, there's a statement in Vachanamrut that comes to mind. Shriji Maharaj, he talks about Narad Muni and other great rishis. When they are in that Nirvikalpa Samadhi, they are one with God. It's like the oneness of that reality. But when they come into this world, they are constantly engaged in bhakti. How in the Puranic literature and in the TV shows, you can see, the Naradji with the Shriman Narayana, Narayana, Narayan, Satya Narayana, Narayan, the Narayan Dhun. Constantly he is chanting the names of the Lord. Because in the relative world, that the liberated souls are constantly engaged in bhakti. And if they go into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you're not doing bhakti at that time. You're in the Tattva itself. And again, this Sachin is explaining this only from Advaita point of view. And this statement is there in Vachanamrut. Maybe ye point Maharaj ne likha hai. It's very interesting. So when you come out of Nirvikalpa Samadhi and come back into the world of names and forms, there is what is called Gnan Samadhi. And in the Gnan Samadhi, the world of names and forms and everything remains. But it is as if you are in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It is Samadhi without that Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Amazing. And is it possible to live that way? Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, we can live in Gnan Samadhi without worrying about Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and that is actually living fully in this world with the acknowledgement of the Vyavaharika Satyam, with the interaction with the highest love and affection and oneness, while accepting the glory of Maya. Now I'm putting in a Tantra piece here by making that statement, putting in the Shakta Upasana, that the Shakti is to be completely acknowledged and respected, who has manifested the world of names and forms. So no rejection of Shakti. So then if we go on that perspective, or in that way, we actually then will wind up going into Vishishtadvaita. That we are acknowledging the existence of Shakti, and which is responsible for the creation of names and forms. Now, no doubt, Advaitic teaching would say that the Shakti is Brahma ki Shakti, is Brahman's power, some kind of dynamic power that the Brahman has. Yes, sure, why not? Why not? This is a matter of realization. Now, in Gnan Samadhi, the energies that are present throughout the sansar, throughout our body, mind, they are all seen as only the dynamic spandana or modulation of the one supreme reality. So the person who has talked about this modulation power is Rupert Spira. He's a great expounder of non-dualism. And you can look up his videos. There's lots and lots of hundreds of videos that are Rupert Spira, Spira, giving that as a reference. And he talks about this modulation phenomena. That there's the one, like the ocean, that imagine for a moment you have the ocean with complete stillness. But then there's some power in the ocean, it's ocean's own power, that brings those waves. That is modulation. So that modulation is the sansar, is the world of names and forms. It's not different from the ocean. We cannot say that the waves are something different from the ocean. The Brahmanda and the Jivatma and all the people and places and everything we see, it's not different. It is non-different from the Brahman. But it is a modulation of the Brahman. And the way non-dual Shaivism, Kashmiri Shaivism would say, and I don't want to divert too much, but Kashmiri Shaivism would say that that there is a Shiv, that is Brahman, that is the consciousness, that is Shakti, that is the dynamic power, and there's only one Tattva, Shiv Tattva, that is contracting itself into the many, many, many infinite number of Jivatma, but it is only one Shiv that is appearing through, it's not an appearance, it is actually contracting itself through Maya as the many. So it is not a projection in Kashmiri Shaivism, nor is it an illusion. It has total reality. It's another system. It's another way to understand this ontological framework. Okay, with that, if I keep talking about this too much, everybody will go to sleep very soon. So let's stop here for now. Om Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mokshamulam Gurur Krupa Om Kar Charanagatam Va Kayajam Karmajam Va Shravananajam Va Manasam Va Paradam Vihitam Va Sarvameta Shamasva Jai Jai Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho Om Divyalingaya Namaha, Urdhvalingaya Namaha, Anandalingaya Namaha, Dvadash Jyotirlingaya Namaha, Surya Namaha, Chandraya Namaha, Nakshatra Vigramate Namaha, Om Kalakantakataya Namaha, Om Navashakarangaya Namaha, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Om Aim, Rim, Klim, Chamundaye Viche, Om Durge, Durge Rakshini, Tha Tha, Swaha, Om Shri Durga Arpanamastu, Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu.